First question of the Q&A is, how is Thanos doing? And she is doing really well. She is inside her nest at the moment, which is basically a little compost bin that she has jazzed up, torn up lots of little bits of leaf and paper and made her nest. And yeah, she's really good. She says hi. What's going on, Thanos? Say hi. Yep, that's her version of hi. So she's sweet and as beautiful as ever. And yeah, that's basically Thanos. So I'm going to put her back in her box and hopefully she will be quiet for the rest of the Q&A, which is probably not going to happen, is it? No. I'm going to fight. We're going to fight. Okay, so the second question I have on my list is, would it be possible for you to make a series of meditations designed for the star signs? Yes, most definitely yes. Thank you so much for this question, because I can't believe I didn't think of this idea myself. I love it. I do love working with astrology. I do think it's a beautiful way to deepen your connection to the energy that you have been encoded with since the day you were born. From the very first moment you took your first breath, you've been encoded with the energy of the cosmos at that point in time. So I do think it's important to use meditation as a tool to connect deeper with that aspect of yourself and the patterns and underlying behaviors that you have inherited from the cosmos. So yes, most definitely will do that. I also had another little idea that kind of stemmed from this question, and it's in relation to the update of my channel in 2022. So I'll just go into that straight away. Basically, in 2021, I did regular full moon, new moon meditations based on true sidereal astrology rather than the Western tropical system. And I know a lot of you guys adhere to the Western tropical. A lot of you also are interested in delving into sidereal. So I'm not the person to teach you about that. There is an amazing YouTube channel that I'll link you to that will explain all of this information. So I'll put it down in the description box if you want to dive into that further. But in 2022, to avoid burnout, to avoid kind of putting too much pressure on myself to create meditations and then kind of lacking in quality to get the quantity out, I want to kind of reverse it and put out less but put out better quality meditations for you guys. So along with the meditation series for star signs, I want to put out a series of moon meditations based on where the moon has landed in that month. So it will take me a little bit of time to do this, but it will be released over the next 6 months. So there'll be a full moon meditation for Aries and a new moon meditation for Aries, and then a full moon meditation for Gemini and a new moon meditation for Gemini. And then regardless of what system of astrology that you follow, you'll be able to go on and find it and meditate with that at the right time for you. And that way I'm not rushed to put them up month by month. And I may do it here and there when I'm really inspired and I've got the time and I've got the creative energies channeling and flowing through. I'll still do that, but I think it's good to have that series there for you to dive into whenever you want. And then also that separate series is just based on connecting deeper with your star sign, regardless of where the moon is at that time. So that's kind of the general overview or big idea for 2022. Less meditations, but better quality. And yeah, that's it. All right, the third question. What meditation do you do and what got you involved in the meditation world? So I fundamentally started with guided meditations. Sarah Hall has some of the best guided meditations that I've found on YouTube. So I highly recommend, if you like my style of meditations, you will definitely vibe with her style as well. She's my go-to if I'm going to do guided meditations. But basically what meditation I do is just mindfulness meditation based on Buddhist principles and concepts and philosophy. So it's just connecting with myself in the moment, breathing. Yeah, I really don't know how to describe it other than just mindfulness meditation. I take 10 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day sometimes no minutes a day because I didn't meditate that day. I'm most definitely not perfect in my practice. So yeah, don't guilt yourself. Guided meditations were my stepping stone into the meditation world. It really helped teach me about breath work, body relaxation, guiding your mind in a direction rather than allowing it to just move through whatever it wants to go. So what actually got me involved in the meditation world was years and years ago. I'm 32 now. When I was about 16, 17, I went through a hormonal shift in body and mind and spirit. So my dad actually suggested meditation to me as a tool. At that point in my time, I was going to church. I was going to like a Pentecostal church. I don't know, like the new age kind of church, like a Hillsong vibe. And I really enjoyed that. It was really a building block for me to develop a relationship with a higher power. I did eventually move away from Christianity and start studying different religions, even Islam and Buddhism and things like that. But when I was in the church and my dad was mentioning meditation to me, I kind of felt like for some reason it didn't match. I was kind of like, what is meditation? That's like a different spiritual practice or a different religious practice. I can't do it if I'm a Christian. I don't know why I thought that. I didn't have a lot of support in that church from anyone else to kind of guide me. And yeah, so anyway, needless to say, I've left that church since, but I did, through that church, develop a strong foundation to a higher power. And then from there, I moved into Islam and Buddhism and studying those. And Buddhism really brought that out and made it stick. So yeah, that's where I kind of got involved in the meditation world. Just a kind of couple of years of exploring spirituality, exploring religion, and landing on meditation as a tool to connect with that higher power. Okay, next question is, do you still do one-on-one Zoom readings? And the answer is currently no. On my booking page, which I'll have a link down below if you want to check it out, I only have MP3 readings where you send me in one question and I do the card reading for you as an MP3 version, and then you can just listen to it and repeat that in your own time. I also have the custom guided meditations available as a service. So right now and for the foreseeable future, one-on-one readings won't be going ahead. I do have an Oracle card reading course, which after spending time delving into that, I found that, you know, just I got guided away from doing readings for people, but found that it was more important to teach people how to read their own cards and how to use cards as a tool for self-awareness and to deepen into their spiritual practice if that's the tool that they choose. So yeah, I feel like a little bit of a you know how you resonate towards something? It's not like I'm resonating away from it, but there's just like this kind of magnetic push-pull thing, like I'm just hovering in the middle of wanting to do them and wanting not to do them. So I think that that's a sign that I should step away for a while from doing one-on-one Zoom readings. And just really encourage you guys to, if you want to delve into your own practice, go check out that Master the Oracle course. I give you all the tools, all the techniques, resources for you to really use cards in a way that's practical and relatable in your everyday life. And that way you don't have to pay someone else to find out that information. So yeah, anyway, I think that's enough of that one. Let's see what's next. All right, I really like this question. How do you come up with the content of your meditations? Basically, are they channeled or are they just ideas? In some aspects, yes, I feel they're channeled because, you know, in that time that I'm writing for 2 or 3 hours, I don't know what time it is. Like, it just goes like that. It's a moment in time where nothing else exists. I don't get hungry, I don't get thirsty, I don't need to go to the toilet, I don't really hear anyone else around me, I'm just in my zone. And then I look up and I realize, oh my gosh, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I started this at 10. So yeah, I think it's channeled in that sense. And then also, I think one of the biggest inspirations for the content of the meditations is just my reading. I just get little sparks of insights, and just this bubble inside of me just gets excited when I read a certain paragraph or read a quote or even have a conversation with someone, but mostly reading fiction, reading novels that are mythical, that are adventure-based. I'd say it's kind of 50-50. They are my own ideas that are sparked from reading and research, or just a moment in time, or my own meditations. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, there are a lot of places that the insights come from. So it's really hard for me to differentiate what's channeled and what's just my own ideas. I think we don't know how far deep down in the psyche that ideas even come from. So how do we know what's truly ours and what's from something else around us? I think a lot of what we say and think and believe isn't actually fundamentally our own, but has been, you know, inherited from the world around us. So yeah, I think, I don't know, 60-40, 50-50, Depends on the day, depends on the meditation. Either way, I'm grateful when those moments in time come where I just write and write and write and time passes like nothing else. So moving on now to the next question. This one came from Instagram from a dear friend of mine. He said, do you remember the moment you became fully conscious? No, because I'm not fully conscious. Just over the last 4 to 5 years has been a kind of continuous slow awakening, and then a contracting and an awakening, contracting. I would love to have this beautiful answer to this question where there was this one moment I fully awakened, but I don't, and I don't really have words for it, because I do believe that the process of becoming conscious is too great for words, and it's more of a feeling and a knowing that kind of alters your perspective and alters the way that you see the world from that moment on. So from that day on, or that moment on, little things begin to change and you build momentum, and it's a work in progress. Every day I try and look at, you know, what's making me frustrated, what's making me angry, what's triggering me, what's making me feel joyful, what's making me feel happy or energized, and look at those things and try and incorporate the things that are more of the joyful, energized things, and really try and not even get rid of the things that frustrate me, but really just become aware and not react in the same patterns. Yeah, I think it's going to be a lifelong process. All right, next question. Where do you get your creative inspiration from? I've already kind of talked about that. Definitely, most definitely, books. Movies. I forgot to say movies last time we talked about this. Yeah, gosh, everywhere. Nature, conversations, just the way people look and are, and just the energy that they bring can inspire. Yeah, anyway, we've already talked about that question. Next one, I'm wondering how you got into spirituality and how you discovered your gifts. So I've kind of spoken about how I got into spirituality, but I do remember one day, gosh, just sitting down in my lounge room, and I wasn't even doing much. I think it was kind of maybe meditating, maybe I just did a card reading, but I was just in a good mood. And I just had this vision of this beautiful Bengal, big ass tiger laying across my whole lounge room. And that was when I lived in a little 1-bedroom unit. So it took up my whole lounge room. It was just sprawled out, its tail was flicking gently. It was kind of like yawning. And it was almost like, yes, it was there in my imagination, but I felt like I could hear the sounds of the jungle and the leaves blowing and the warmth and the humidity. I could feel like it was like the tiger was in my living room, but I was also in the jungle. It's a strange thing to explain. And I just got this voice inside of my head, like, pick up a pen and write this down. And I just started writing this adventure that this beautiful tiger took me on. And from that meditation, which I believe was the first one I uploaded, that was the first one I ever wrote. I might have uploaded the Spirit of the Owl first, but the Spirit of the Tiger was the first immersive experience I ever had with that type of guided visualization. So yeah, it's just dabbling into things and just going with it. So next question. Some of these questions are hard. How do you deal with fear? Fear can really get to me. Not being good enough, not being understood, being ridiculed, things like that, present within me when I go to release something, when I go to create something, when I go to do something new. I'm like, who is going to like this? Who am I to create this? Who am I to have anybody listen to me? Like, it's all there. But all the greats, all the masters, they felt the fear and they decided to move ahead anyway. It's just part of the human experience. Like, if you didn't have fear, you'd kind of be a sociopath, right? And you would take too much risks, and you probably wouldn't live a very long life, like in a very real way. So fear, I think how I deal with fear is just understanding that it's a natural part of the human experience. I don't know if I'm going to ever evolve out of it, if I'm ever going to be able at a level of consciousness where I don't feel fear. And I really don't care if I don't. I've come to accept my fear as this little sidekick that is just there. Sometimes she's loud, sometimes she's, a little bit soft, sometimes she can take the back seat, sometimes she's like reaching over to grab the steering wheel. I don't want to overjudge her or see her as negative. Same like anger. Anger is just like this bodyguard that comes up, and when I don't converse with it, it might come out a little too strong. So Yeah, again, I wish I could have this beautiful articulate response, but I guess overall what I'm trying to say is that I don't see fear as something bad or something that needs to be wiped out of the human experience, something that needs to be cleared and evolved out of. A lot of people might have different opinions in the spiritual communities, but for me, she's there as a form of a bodyguard, and I just need to converse with her and talk with her and let her know that I know you're worried. I know you can kind of imagine things that may go wrong, but really when we look back for evidence of things going that wrong, 9 times out of 10 it hasn't. So if I converse with my fear and I allow it to be without trying to push it down, I think that's the best way I deal with it. The next question was, oh yeah, I think I'm going to just do one more question, and that just came through today, so I'll answer it. And that is, curious, what inspired the Great Wolf meditation? Is there a story behind it? Similar to the tiger, being approached in meditation by this beautiful white, oh gosh, just powerful, protective energy that kind of just visually came to me during a meditation and just sat in the darkness. That, you know, I wasn't trying to visualize, I wasn't trying to do anything, I wasn't trying to push down thoughts, just saw this beautiful big wolf come and sit down. I was so intrigued by this wolf. I was so kind of in awe of it, almost paralyzed in a sense, where I didn't want to move, I didn't want to think, I didn't want to blink, I didn't want to breathe, because I didn't want it to go away. It was just this energy that felt like a warm cloak just surrounding me and holding me. And it didn't do anything. After a while, I accepted the fact that I have to leave this meditation, and I left, and as far as I know, the wolf was still there. A lot of the inspiration came from that, as well as one person in the comment section of another video asking me if I can do the wolf meditation, and I said I would love to work with Wolf. Wolf hasn't approached me yet, but I would love to. And then he wrote this amazing script, which was also part of the inspiration and weaved in. So I'll find him in the editing process and put him down here. This was a couple of years ago that I wrote the wolf meditation, so it's not all clear in my head, but thank you. And you know, you guys are such a big part of the inspiration. I know there was 2 questions that came up. I was like, where do you get the content? A lot of you guys give me such great ideas. So if you want to email me, DM me on Instagram, comment in the comment section, any of that, just yeah, be open, share with me what you think, some ideas. And I'm so happy to give you credit in the description box of the meditation, because I think 2 minds are greater than one. That whole synergy comes together to create something good. And like 2022, the theme of it is to create quality over quantity, and better meditations for you guys to use in your own practice. And for me to be a part of that is such an honor. And yeah, I'm always blown away by your feedback. You know, that voice of fear comes up saying, oh, this isn't good enough. No one's going to like this. It's going to be misunderstood. She's always there. But obviously I move forward anyway. Have a little chat to her, say it's okay, read through the comment section, screenshot some ones that I come back to that really kind of helps soften her and relax her, so I can continue to release things. So thank you so much for watching. Leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already. Leave any other questions you want down in the comment section. I'll go through and answer them by typing rather than talking. And I'll see you in the next video / meditation, guys. Bye.